All right, good morning. Tim Sykes here, just after 5 a.m. Eastern. I woke up late, literally. I mean, it's crazy that I'm doing this video lesson at 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m., and I just woke up. I missed this whole run-up, on STI. This is absolutely beautiful from 4 until 5. Literally, while I was asleep, it was like perfect. Maybe if I had wherewithal and sense right when I woke up. I woke up around here around like 4:50, but I was just like literally opening my eyes, like brushing my teeth. I'm not going to chase this stock that I haven't been watching, from 7 to 8. There was like a little opportunity for like, I don't know, 3 minutes or something. But again, I'm just out of it. You have to wake up early in this market. I say it every day to you. I'm saying it to myself. Some of you don't know why I post this stuff. Like I was hiking in Norway and, I sprained my ankle. So I literally just fell and I think I sprained my ankle again. I've had ankle issues in the past. I think this is just another one. Oh, God. Why do I need to share this stuff? Why don't I just focus on trading? Because trading is influenced by your life. And it's important that you recognize that. If you can't wake up at 4 a.m. Eastern, you're going to miss out on a lot of great plays. And, I'm not one to make excuses, but I slept like crap last night. I can't sleep in a way where my ankle doesn't hurt. I'm icing it. It's just a mess. And literally yesterday, aside from today, now STI is dropping a little bit. Hold on. Let's see if there's a potential dip buy, if it can drop enough. Let's watch it together. I'll talk about yesterday in a second, but literally this just finally cracked. So on potential dip buys, I don't want to just buy the first crack because, now everyone who bought in here is bagged. I would love to see how low this goes. At least, waking up at 5 a.m., we have a potential dip buy here already. Let's see how low it goes. Sometimes you get that first initial spike and then nothing afterwards. So you always have to be careful with that. But let's see if it can drop, ideally towards the VWAP. The VWAP is 670, so it's still got a long way to go. This crack of sideways action is really going to, inspire short sellers because now they have a clear top here at 760. But, you see, look at this. It already bounces to the 740. We just can't even get true panics. True panics are weak lately too. Anyways, let me talk about this. So I missed STI. Right now, I don't see too much opportunity. SMTK. I missed this one. This is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I missed it. Yesterday, dealing with this freaking ankle. I didn't have as much pain as I do right now. I mean, this literally just happened. So I have to deal with it. And, I always have ankle problems. This screwed up my entire trip now in Norway, and I was going to go to Iceland. I'm going to push that back. It just sucks. Life sucks sometimes, especially when you get injured, and then you miss the best trades. I checked in. Wow, STI coming all the way back. So you see, I wanted more panic, and we just didn't get it. So I missed SMTK yesterday. I missed HWH. This was absolutely beautiful. I still haven't even gone back into the chat room and seen. I saw a few people nailed it, but you got to be buying on the way up. On the way down, you can clearly see this crack here, right at the highs, 777, and there's really no dip buys that are good at all here. You got to be on the front side of this thing. I got to congratulate some students who were up this morning. First of all, Lorena, good job. Saying, hope everyone got a piece. 20% for me from 525, 594, 650, 697, 720. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And Lorena was up. It's 455. Also, Trader Bill in STI at 533, out at 571, 70 or 585. Bubba G also. So Bubba G, Trader Bill, and Lorena. And then also I saw Emilio posted 1,100 bucks on STI, and then this is when I woke up. I woke up and I posted the charts right away 26 minutes ago, and then Emilio also made another 500, and I was like, calm down, Emilio, that's good for you. But there are people getting it, and you really just have to wake up early. Not only did I miss STI, but I missed IPDN. So this is my one pre-market trade.
And this literally could have been $1,000 profit. That's the difference. It actually could have been, what did I sell in the 740, 750 area? Yeah, I sold my last 1,000 at 747. You know, pre-market, or not even pre-market. Sorry, this is last night. Earlier this morning, it hit 9. Okay? And I don't know, had I been awake, I had 1,000 shares overnight, would I have sold it at the top? Probably not. I probably would have sold it, well, I don't know. I mean, it's hypothetical because I wasn't up. But, I'm looking for a squeeze. And, I posted last night that it needed to break the low 8s to get to a real squeeze potential. So I feel I probably would have sold into this candle because, I would have seen this breakout over last night's after hours highs here at 825. I certainly would have given it a little time because there's just not much volume like in the first 3 minutes. And then I would have seen it breaking out, would have been scared here at 825. Could it break out? The next minute I would have my answer. I probably would have sold 1,000 shares here at 875, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't have probably, waited to 9. I would have been happy to get out with a profit because, last night I'm buying IPDN. I'm thinking this is going to be, today's big runner. I was obviously wrong. And so I bought some at 825, added at 803. Into the close, I see it high 7s, and I'm like, I just can't risk it. What if this thing opens at like 6.5 or 6? Like, some of these runners just don't go. So I sold basically like 2/3 of my position for a small loss. But then this one, again, this is me not waking up on time. So I wouldn't have made $1,000. Let's say, best case, I would have sold it at 875, so it would have been a $1,200 difference. So it would have been a break-even trade. And instead, I lost 1,000, a little over 1,000, because I didn't wake up on time. So there's huge opportunity cost in missing plays like STI. You see now it's just kind of like range bound. Like literally at 5 a.m., the volatility has died. And maybe it'll do something in a little bit. I got to get a coffee and like really wake up. But, the volatility has died. You got to focus on these plays when there is volatility. And on STI, at least so far, it was 4 to 5 a.m. and I missed it. And my stupid ankle is killing me. And I'm really pissed because, okay, IPDN, I mistimed it. But had I woken up this morning, break even, maybe small loss of like 200. In STI, again, it's hypothetical. I don't know what I would have done. I would have been focused on IPDN here from like 4 to 410. So I wouldn't have been able to look at STI, but it would have obviously popped up because it's the biggest percent runner. Theoretically, I mean, in a perfect world, I'm buying this high of the day breakout here at 560, but it doesn't really do much. 560, I mean, it doesn't look like much, but this is 560 to 590. Had I bought this high of the day breakout here, 560, probably would have sold some at 590, or certainly in this fade because I would have been scared, like 580. On STI here, best case, probably would have made 10 or 15 cents a share on like 2,000 shares. But that would have made back my losses on IPDN. And then I most certainly would have rebought this breakout above 6 because now you have high of the day breakout, and by the way, this was on my list of plays to watch last night. So this was an after hours runner last night. So don't say like, oh, it's nice to come up with the biggest percent gainer today. I was watching it ever since here. And you got to watch this breakout over, last night's highs at 512. But again, I would have been busy with IPDN near the open had I been awake. I certainly would have bought this follow-up breakout if I had been, IPDN, I would have been out by, 406, writing the alert, sending it out. Yeah, I probably would have been ready to buy this breakout here at like 550, 560. But again, it was just a small gain. But then I would have rebought this bigger breakout. You have the biggest volume candle here, and I probably would have bought another 2,000 shares here at like 595, 6. And again, you don't get a big breakout. I probably would have flipped it here at like 615, 610, made another 200. But instead of losing, 1,200 on IPDN and missing out on STI, I would have been break even or lost like 200 on IPDN. And then I would have made back those losses and more and been up like probably 500, maybe 600 on STI. So it's like a $2,000 difference. And again, I'm trading with a small account. $2,000 isn't the end of the world. But, if you're trading with a small account, which you probably are, which is why I trade with a small account, so you can learn from my successes and failures, you too could have changed, your results by nailing, or at least not even nailing, just, waking up to take profits on an overnight position on IPDN instead of waking up an hour late. In SMTK, this was just a waste of time last night. Like, I missed HWH. I missed the earlier run-up on SMTK, so this is just FOMO. So literally $1,800 in losses. And, if I wasn't dealing with this freaking ankle, STI, it wouldn't have been huge. And I don't know, to tell you the truth, if I would have bought it for a third time here. I might have been so kind of like not so happy with buying these breakouts and these weaker moves. I mean, buying it twice I would do, but I don't know if I would have bought it a third time. And the third time was like, even this one was a little disappointing. It was really the fourth breakout that led to the best squeeze. So I'm not like, oh my God, I would have nailed STI. I would have made like $20,000. I wouldn't have. It's not my perfect setup, but I certainly would have profited. Yesterday, I certainly would have profited on HWH instead of, focusing on the backside where like I make a little. I mean, it's so crazy, but like a lot of this studying that I tell you to do, a lot of the execution that I hope that you have, like, some of these students that I've been highlighting, a lot of it just involves you being in front of your computer, being awake and being ready to buy the high of the day breakouts and taking profits, and then being disciplined enough not to buy the backside. And like I say this a little bit, but I say it quite often lately, like I'm zagging when I should zig, I'm zigging when I should zag, and I'm just off. And that's why there's no profits for me. If you're off, you get no profits. Okay? It's me doing undisciplined trades, me not being awake. I mean, over the past 30 days now, I'm down $1,000. This includes the stupid $9,000 loss that I had, trading from the gym when I wanted to get to 100,000 on the year, and I, just focused on the milestone. I didn't even take a good trade. So the good news is I'm making almost every mistake in the book, missing plays, being on the backside, waking up late, being undisciplined, and still, because I still follow rule number 1 and I cut losses quickly, I'm still barely losing that much. Like, it's crazy how useful cutting losses quickly is. So some of you say, Tim, trading is so hard. You've been doing it 25 years. Look at all these mistakes. Yes, I'm making mistakes, but I'm containing them. And literally, if I don't buy the backside, if I buy the front side, if I wake up on time and I capture even some of these breakouts, not even all of these breakouts, like, there's so much opportunity right now, but you really have to buckle down. And, the only thing that I'm proud of right now is that I can, be honest with you about my recent mistakes and losses. Most people in this industry can't. Many of you, by the way, you think that like certain traders are so great, they never have any losses. They don't just post their losses, okay? You think they don't make any mistakes, they just don't talk about their mistakes. So never think that everyone is crushing it. Never forget 90% plus of traders lose, okay? So when most traders lose, that's average. So don't think that like someone's perfect, because they're usually just shady. And at least it's my honor to cut through the BS and show you my mistakes. But even with all my mistakes, I'm barely down. Like, if you follow rule number 1, cutting losses quickly, even with all these mistakes, you really can't lose that much. If you don't follow rule number 1, it's a very slippery slope. So at least I'm still following rule number 1. Let's see, STI fading more now. So we got that secondary fade. Let's see how it acts at that view out. But I got to get a coffee. I'll post this video right now.